My name is Lecturer Kilaji Bishop Kenya Loltome, speaking in Nairobi National Government, Embakasi East Constituency, Embakasi Amiango Ward. This morning I want to share with you the word of God from the book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 6 and 9, which was actually written by this man of God called Ezekiel. So this is the message of God we are going to learn this morning. And I'm going to explain to you about those verses. That is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 6 and 9. And what you will actually learn from this book, it is filled up with what we call bizarre visions and puzzling revelations. Alright? Revelations of God. Ezekiel was a priest who was actually taken captive from Jerusalem to Babylon, or the current country of Iraq today. So his prophetic message began that time, and he wrote between 593 and 571 before Jesus' birth, what we are reading today, and it's still applicable. Preso Ezekiel wrote to the Israelites living in exile, alright, they are slaves in the land of Iraq, and they needed to know that God of Israel was God even in pagan Babylon of that time, Iraq country, who have been actually worshipping idol worship a lot. Preso Ezekiel also wanted that his people, that their idolatry or false gods could be judged. To those who worship, false god will be judged. So that's what we will learn from here. And we are told also during that time what was happening. Assyria had conquered the northern kingdom of Israel, that is 722 before Jesus' birth, and Babylonian also ascended on the world scene as the dominant power, and Judah was also defeated and taken hostages by the Iraq people or Babylonians. That is also the first stages of what happened was 6 or 5 before Jesus' birth. Again, it has that kind of a conflict again happened 597 before Jesus' birth, and finally 586 before Jesus' birth, when Jerusalem was utterly destroyed. So what the Bible says here, how is a negligent leader be held accountable in what we have read? I've given you the introduction. So how was a negligent leader of during that time, those kings, if they become negligent, how are they held accountable? Because now we are told there was also a kind of a conflict all around those kind of a Middle East, and they have been fighting terribly, and the human beings have been suffering a lot. So how those people who are, in position of authority, or anyone who is also, given us a kind of a task to protect human beings, if that person become a negligent, like our president of Kenya Republic now becoming negligent, not providing us social welfare, and allow also invading other enemies, aggressors to attack human beings, how will such a kind of rulers be held accountable at that time and even today worldwide? We are told in Ezekiel chapter 33 verse 6 to 9, where it reads like this: but if the watchman or a leader in that case sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people, and the sword comes and takes the life of one of them, that man will be taken away because of his sin, or he will be killed, but I will hold watchman accountable for his blood. If someone comes and strikes someone, and the leader who is supposed to protect that person have not actually done anything to help that person or warn him, we are told that person will be held accountable for the blood of that human being. Verse 7, Son of man, I have made you a watchman, or a leader for the house of Israel. That's what actually Prophet Ezekiel told the rulers of that time. Alright? He told them, hear that I've made you a watchman in the or a leader in the house of Israel. So hear the word, or I speak and give them warning. When I say to the wicked, O wicked man, you will surely die, and you do not speak out to deceive or to inform the person about what will happen to that person, that wicked man will die for his sins, and I will hold you accountable for his blood. Verse 9. And if you do want the wicked man to turn from his ways, and he does not do so, he will die for his sin, but you will have saved yourself. I am like Prophet Samuel myself now. I said I'm a priest in nature. Bishop Kenya Loltome. I'm not actually, trying to brag myself in a pump of pride. I was a trained priest of Kenya, and God is not foolish, all right, to train me, to allow me to be a priest in Kenya, and even beyond, even in Indibi. I was trained at the Capsule Bible College for many years, 4 years, Nandi County Government, theological studies. I was studied exegetical theology, historical theology, systematic theology, and practical theology within that span period of 4 years. I went also for further studies at Vision International University, Ramona, California, USA, United States of America, an affiliate campus which was here in Kenya, and I believe it is still there, in Limuru, okay, Kiambu area, county government. I also studied Columbia International University, a division of Islamic Studies, to know God and to make Him known, to human beings. Here is actually that one. If you want to study also yourself, you are free to do so. All right. Here it is actually Introduction to Islam. You can learn it if you wish. It is here. All right. I'm not cheating you if you want to study. All right. I have also a Quran here as a witness. God is one in Quran 112, page chapter 112. And also in New International Version Bible, God is one in Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Some of the books we are reading is here in Islamic theology. They are here about the Prophet of God, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and also peoples of Islam, politics and power. These are some of the books we are reading. I saw on several occasions. We are also reading about the broken family of Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael, both wives of Abraham, that is Sarah and Agar. Why are they fighting? We also learn about that one. We will learn about Abraham, the friend of God. The friend of God also the falters actually went astray at times. The tragedy of Agar and Ishmael, and God also hears hostility toward these two brothers, which is still continuing in between Arabs, Palestinian, and Israel. Muhammad, the first Muslim, you learn Muhammad book, the Holy Quran, and so forth. The traditional and law of Islam, and also variety of Islam, ethnicity and politics in Islam, and so forth and so forth. You will learn. These are some of the books we are reading. And also a Muslim and Christian dialogue, you can learn if you wish. They are here. Alright? So learn about the Quran and the Holy Bible equally, because they are also both godly books. You can learn if you wish. You can study here. It is written here. Alright? You can study if you wish, so that you will not actually mess up trying to think that the people are not obeying God. Also, you will learn also Old Testament, major prophets and minor prophets, and so millions of Muslims and Christians and neighbors, and worship the same God as they claim, yet they seldom witness to each other. We are now trying to break that kind of, bridging that kind of animosity. In these both books, the Holy Quran and the Holy Bible, about Muslim and Christian, attempt to witness to each other and to listen to each other. Those are the issues which we are dealing in a profound kind of questions. And you also need to know that there are other books also, not only these ones. So remember that if you want to be trained properly as a theologian, you have to study both books and other books also, cross-cultural studies about anthropology, about human beings, and good and bad angels and God, God actually, divinity. That is in exegetical theology and historical theology and also somatic theology and practical theology kind of syllabus. So what I want to say here, how is actually a leader be held accountable? A sentry who asleep allowing an enemy to infect the land could be executed during that time of Prophet Ezekiel time. And even today, we are seeing so many countries out their president and prime ministers, all right? Because they are actually allowing enemies of various, degrees to harm people. They don't provide people with social welfare. They also don't protect them the sanctity of lives. So we are seeing people now all over the world are trying to topple bad leaders, including Kenya. Even yesterday, our president actually has survived narrowly, but we have not left him. He is still actually is going to be removed any time. President, of Kenya Republic, Ruto. So remember, actually, a leader which is actually becoming negligent, which is not a responsible person to warn the people of the coming judgment or problems, that kind of a person is not fulfilling his duty and is termed as sleeping on duty. And he will be held accountable for what happened to the human beings. Alright? He will face a stricter judgment himself because he knows the truth and failed to sound the alarm to the people. That's what actually all leaders are supposed to face. So our president also, although now he's trying to share the government together with the opposition, but people are not contented with his leadership up to now. So I am looking also forward to be Kenya president anytime. Alright, anytime I'm going to be sworn in, because now this government of ours, Kenya, is not actually a government which is able to help us. So anytime I can be sworn in as the 6th President of United States of Kenya Republic for 7 county government, 290 constitutions and 1,451 assemblies. I'm saying this on several occasions, and here's my government in place. Alright? Alright? The government is here which is going to help you, and the simplest form of government is actually in a family level, kind of execution of powers. And also, the children are normally subjected to the rules and regulation of that kind of a family. Also, the highest form of government, I said on several occasions, is the state government, which are supposed to be helping us. And the president of a nation or king is actually a father of all human beings. But if you become biased without actually knowing that, and he used to practice actually something like nepotism, tribalism, favorism in his leadership, it will no longer now be regarded as a father to other nations and many nation people, including Kenya. So remember today, any president or any leader in that case, any person, be it a spiritual leader, be it a political class unit leader, be it a public servant leader, you will be held accountable if you show tribalism kind of a behavior or nepotism, racism, or partiality in your leadership, and you don't sound an alarm to warn people of any danger, neither to help them. You will be held accountable to an extent of being executed even. You can be executed or removed from throne. And that's exactly what is now what is happening all over the world globally. Many nations have been toppled dictatorial kind of leaders because now this is 21st century kind of a .com generation of human beings. They know what is right and what is wrong, and they are highly learned youths and adults as well. So remember, the Bill of Rights must be observed. That means the Bill of Rights must be having such kind of the sanctity of life must be protected. The right of people to own properties in any country, the right of also people freedom of movement, freedom of expression. Although now in Kenya we are losing journalists, freedom of worship is there, except actually wrong, false worship of idols, and also the right of association of various human beings, tribes and races and colors and genders. They need to associate, old and young, and also the freedom of movement, and the right to of equal treatment with equitable sharing of resources. From all 49 tribes of Kenya, for example, and other races living in Kenya, They are supposed to be having a free medical care if they cannot afford, free education if they cannot afford, parents, and also land and housing to be provided to people so that they will have also accompanied with title deeds, and food stuff should be given in adequate kind of manners, and also with a low cost of of living, and also water and clean sanitations should be provided with human beings, all right, for people to be happy in their nation. And failure to be receiving such kind of benefits, they don't have to recognize government of any nation, be it in democratic kind of issue or any other, call them, all right. So what I want to say today, I'm happy that our youth are still continuing protesting until the president of Kenya Republic leave office, like others, like Bangladesh, like even Haiti and many other nations. I just want to encourage them that let them not get asleep until we remove the president, because he's not ready to help us. That is none other than William Samuel Ruto, the president of Kenya currently, and his leadership. And we don't recognize them because now they are not helping us at all. So what I want to say, we will maintain peace, alright, if the need be, because the peace also is also a kind of a comfort within human beings, and also we need harmony among ourselves, and also we need spiritual peace between God and us. That's what I also encourage our youth. And let us actually not get worried, although we have not yet succeeded to remove the president yesterday, but I know now around the corner we'll remove him actually, there's no doubt on that. So remember that we need also to have a kind of a positive peace in our minds, alright, and let us resist bad kind of leadership, alright, kabisa, tukatae kabisa. There are also disadvantages of war, which we are trying to avoid as much as we can, because war now sometimes involve a kind of a bribery. People also will be killed, but we have also to fight our cause. We have to sacrifice ourselves in one way or another. But remember that we will experience some kind of effects in our protests, like violence will be there, malnutrition is there, illnesses because we will be also suffering, and also some will be wounded, and also disability can come sometimes, and death likewise. So that one will not be a big threat to us. We have to continue protesting until the president resign or flee from the country. That is none other than William Samuel Ruto. We know that Kenya has been not at peace. We have been experiencing kind of post-election violence of 2007, 2008, 2012 elections, and also 2022 recent one. And what is bringing this kind of a problem is people who are actually observing our election, like Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission. They are sometimes modifying, result to the losers. Like for example, 2007 election, we know that Supreme Power President, Sir Raila Amolo Odinga, won that election by garnering 1,691,679 votes against Mwai Kibaki, who actually was modified to become president, a Kikuyu president, who has garnered 1,222,725, okay, in 69 of the country to 10 constituencies that time. Such kind of misbehaviors of two tribes trying to rule us, Kalenjin and Kikuyus, is still continuing. And we want to avoid such kind of a mess continuing in Kenya. We want these two tribes to rule us for centuries and decades, okay, which are not helping ourselves, every Kenyans, neither their tribes likewise. We have been actually, we had 3 Kikuyu tribe president, so many vice president of Kikuyus, and 2 Kalenjins president, alright, since 1963 up to now 2024, with many also, vice president, but they are not helping us. So we want a justifiable kind of a government, alright, from other tribes, which will promote peace, okay, and trust among 49 tribes in Kenya. And that will be none other than me, if I will be elected to be the 6th president. Professor Lecturer Clergy Bishop Kenya Loltome, together with my Vice President, His Excellency Nick Gubo, a retired Kenya Brigadier, who was also on ballot paper 2007 elections. He was nearly to win election that time, during Mwai Kibaki, the late president time. But now he has opted to go forward, to remove President Ruto from throne anytime from today, even period to 2027 election. And we have also Prime Minister of ours called actually Honorable, Carlos Somsioka. I have also my powerful near future wife, First Lady, Supreme People's Power President youngest daughter, Honorable Winnie Raila Molodinga. Is going to assist me as my First Lady around the corner. I'm going to marry our first son. Alright, we are married online, but we are going to formalize our marriage any time from today. Otherwise, we have also other leaders, which I have already told you they are in this government. Alright, including even the president, a retired Kenya president, Dr. Barack Obama of the United States of America. He came here when he was actually in office, alright, visited Kenya, his homeland, because he's a Luo ethnic group from, Siaya, and we were told him to come and rule us, because he's still very young, and that's why he's in this government. He's going to succeed me. I'm just going to be an interim president, because now the Kenya government is unable to rule itself, because there's no money. President Ruto has handed power again now to opposition to check whether they can seek for funds, but they are unable to do that because they are not in government fully. So we just want an interim kind of government for the time being, as we look forward for Obama to come and rule us. Otherwise, may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. And remember that the government in place now in this booklet is the one you are going to anticipate to rule you fairly and with the justifiable instant administration of justice. Alright? We will not let people killing each other like animals. And we will not allow people to die anyhow, or to disappear, or to be maimed, or crippled, or to be denied all rights, including national identity card, passport, birth certificate, marriage certificate, title deeds, all these crucial documents. You are not going to be given any of those documents nowadays in Kenya. Neither are you going to be served, even though you want to flee to other countries. They don't have those documents. They just want people to rot in their houses, which is not right. I'm living now in a house which was built by British government in 1956. And that's why now you can see me speaking inside this house. Alright, I've renovated it. Okay, and I thank British government and also God for allowing us now to live in those houses. 3/4 of Kenyans living in Nairobi National Government are living in British houses, which have been disposed now, and we own it. And we thank that government. It was a very nice government, white government, rule government, which was ruling in 1920 to 1963. And they handed power to blacks to destroy it, which we are going now to reinstate it, to have an image of a well-developed kind of a country's image. Otherwise, may God bless you, human being living in Kenya and beyond. Amen.